BW Businessworld. Today we are here at BW Education's Leadership Summit 2023. I have with me Mr. Vivek Varshney, who is founder of Speed Labs. Welcome, sir.
Hi.
So good to have you. We are speaking in the background of how the education industry as a whole is evolving right now. You coming from the Edtech, if I can say, segment of it. What do you have to say? What has been changed in the last couple of years? And talk about your journey as well.
Sure. Hi. Thanks for having us and congratulations for wonderful event. So I started my journey after my BTech and MBA. I worked in the field of financial services, worked with investment banking and private equity for about 11 years. I covered the education space for about 6 years, and then in 2016 started with an idea where technology can help in improving learning outcomes. So if we look at the journey of a student, there are three aspects: lecture, self-study and practice test. We are more focused on the second and third aspect, where we can use the machine learning and data analytics to improve the learning outcomes for a student, curate their learning journey and how to improve their learning outcomes. So we are not so much on the lecture side. Now your question was how the last 2 years have changed. So the COVID obviously necessitated an online learning where the students were accessing the lectures from the comfort of their home through online, etc. But there were some challenges, right? So after COVID, everything has gone back to more offline, and we are supporting the hybrid education. We are working with some of the national leaders in hybrid education, and I think that's the way forward. So pure online has lot of challenges, infra, device, the place at home, the comfort, monitoring. I mean, the students may not focus, note taking, lot of challenges are there. So I don't think a pure online learning from home will be the future in any time, in any near future, but hybrid where you can use the tech for better analytics, better feedback, better suggestions, etc. can complement an offline or a hybrid
You're
teaching.
absolutely right, because the firms which have started earlier solely as online platforms have now forayed into the offline space as well. They are opening their centers, many big companies. You coming from the sector, we recently saw very massive layoffs in education and Edtech segment. They were not, let's say, they are non-strategic hiring in the surge when we saw the boom in the Edtech sector in early 2020s. That's the reason we are facing right now the layoffs. What do you have to say? What are some of the prominent challenges, if we can talk about, Edtech player would face?
So I would say that I think most of the players overestimated the opportunity, and they underestimated the friction. And I think they were chasing the opportunity, and obviously there was a lot of capital supporting them to go after that opportunity. But I think once the hybrid or offline started coming back, the opportunity got downsized, and everyone is trying to right size their team to survive and grow, and they're making the required pivots in their model. So
that's right. And especially startups. This is question coming from you to you just because I take care of a vertical that's all about startups, founders, and investors. Startups are required now to focus on their fundamentals well to build a profitable business that's working well in their favor, irrespective of the sector. In May also you secured a funding round. What are your plans with it? How is the journey going on with that? What new plans can we expect from Speed Labs?
Yeah, so we completed our Series A about $3 million in September, October last year, and I think the approach is to what everyone is adopting is more of a cockroach approach: just survive,
That's right.
become profitable as soon as possible, and then chase a growth which is available there. And obviously, once we find a more suitable environment and certain scale in our business, we will look for capital, but not looking for capital in near time.
Other than business aspect, if we talk about learning and educating kids, we keep talking about, in this new age, we keep talking about innovating and collaborative learning approaches. What strategy is working in your favor? And when we talk about collaborating or innovating, what disruptions, what strategies are you working on when we talk to Speed Labs?
So we are working with multiple stakeholders, mainly with the unorganized coaching segment, as well as many schools. and the future of schooling education after new education policy and hybrid coaching will also split. So the K-12 as a term may not remain, so it will
That's
split
right.
in K-8
Uh-huh.
and 9 to 12. So new education policy is emphasizing on making youth available for skilled employable force, right? So the schooling system will divide. K-8 will remain the school the way think about it, like traditional schooling. Ninth to 12th will become more integrated, more focused on competitions.
Focused, huh?
And now if you know that, after CUET successful implementation in 2022, every stream, whether it is engineering, medical, humanities, commerce, everywhere, people will have to take some or other competitive exam to get into that. So what I also feel is the product like Speed Labs can empower students with much more methodical, data driven, analytical driven preparation for those exams, because you can't avoid exams, right? Even if you get 100% marks in boards, you can't get into SRCC, let's say. I mean, if I am a 90% and if I crack CUET, I will get a seat, you may not get. So ultimately what I do between 9th to 12th, how structured I am preparing for the competition, whether I am getting my strengths and weaknesses based on data, not perceptions,
That's right.
then I can work on it. Like in today's world, a doctor can treat you better if he has the right diagnosis,
That's right.
right? I can't in today's world work purely on pulse, right? So the Speed Labs is providing absolutely the right quality and the depth of diagnosis for every student, so that they can use their time well, they can attack their weaknesses, they can further strengthen their strengths, they can make strategy for exam, like which chapter to focus, which not to focus, etc, etc. So
Data will help, huh?
so
Data
our
and
product is
diagnosis.
extremely analytical driven. So
That's good. And what is the story behind the name? Why do you call it? Why did you name it Speed Labs?
oh no, so this is abbreviation of specialized education labs.
Uh-huh.
So we just thought that is too long. Speed Labs may be a catchy name. So
And educating kids with speed can also some resemblance.
Yeah.
You being in this particular work area from last 6 years, how has your philosophy of education changed? And also, what is your core attention area, if I can ask?
Sure. So I think from beginning we were the believer of hybrid education. I mean, in 2016, I was one of the very few people in the industry who was saying go for hybrid. And thankfully during COVID also we stuck to the hybrid model. We never experimented in pure online, because I don't think it is doing any justice with the students. So we will remain the believer of hybrid education, and we will continue innovating our product to support the hybrid education as much as possible. And we want to complement all kind of lecturing, whether it is offline, hybrid, or even online. But the core of learning, 70% of the outcome comes from self-study, practice and test. Only 30% comes from lecture. So Speed Labs as a pedagogy is lot more focused on this 70% of this.
So good to know. So lovely to have this conversation. Thank you for joining.
Thank you.